คุณเบตตี้คะ how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear from you, Achan.
Yes, is there any question?
Today I'm in listening mode.
Shall we talk
Does
about-
anyone know if John and Sarah are going to join us today? Nopadon's here. Shanti is here. Gabby, Han, Lian, and Fran. Anybody else going to join us today?
Achan is ready, Betty.
Okay.
Achan just said hello to you. Yeah.
Okay, is it John here with Sarah and Sarah and John are not here though? Okay. All right. Okay. Somebody asked me if I would be the moderator. Okay, for now I'll be the moderator until they come around. Okay. All right. There's only about let me see, 11 of us, which is good. Okay. Lian has a friend joining us today who's very new to the Dhamma. So perhaps she would like to introduce her friend, and maybe the friend has some questions she would like to ask us about what aspects of the Dhamma we teach and so forth. All right. Leon, you want to come on with your friend?
Betty, she's not here yet. My friend hasn't joined yet.
Oh,
I thought I'd just let you know in advance.
I
She
thought
might be
you were
joining, but
ready.
she's not here yet.
All right.
And
Okay.
because I can't talk, so that's
Right,
why I
while we're
thought
waiting for Leon's friend and other Dhamma friends, are the Nepalese students going to join us today as well? Does anybody know that?
Hello, Sawadika.
Hello. We can't hear you. At Dhamma Home Radio.
Sawadika.
Can't hear you.
They cannot hear. Yeah.
Whoops, there's no audio. Does anybody else have a problem with audio? Or is it only me? Anybody have a problem with audio?
Divya, say again louder, please. Divya.
Napadon, I can hear you. That's great. All right. All right. Anybody, Dhamma TV, are you, Tanajan, are you with us?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Would you excuse me for one moment? I have to get something in the other room. Be right back.
Divya, do you have any question?
Sawadika, Ajahn.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับอาจารย์
ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ How are you? Now, what's the Dhamma? Otherwise, it's not Dhammadara. See? But Dhammadara is moment of understanding. Even we haven't thought about it, but it's there. Never change. The truth is right now. So close, so near, just in a moment, just in a moment. See, amazing. There are so many things appearing. In a moment it seems, but in truth, what about just one moment of seeing, thinking, attaching, and so on? That's why we learn to understand what is not known at all in a day can be known little by little in order to realize the truth that it cannot be taken for anything at all. Why? It's gone, never to arise again. This is Dhammadara. Keep in mind, never forget about the truth, even the condition to understand what is there right now. But the understanding is there, firmly, little by little, established from moment to moment, to understand what is there as we have heard directly, because it's just there now. What else can be understood if it's not that which is now appearing and hearing about the truth of it on and on, but it's not firmly established yet to understand that it's just a moment and gone. Is that true? Nothing to be done, only understanding is firmer and firmer developed. Each moment of even a moment of understanding the truth. Because in a day, so many thinking about this and that, not about Dhamma, until there are enough condition to condition moment of not forget that it's there. So real hardness is there. It's gone. But when there's no thought about it at all, how can it be known? How can it be gradually understood? How can it be realization of that which is different from other, like seeing? It's not hardness, so real, so true, but it does not appear separately, just only one characteristic of a reality, just is there and then gone so very quickly until it's there, understanding one by one at moment of direct understanding of that there must be a reality which experiences that. Otherwise, how can even hardness appear? Just that in life, just the hearing, considering, condition, firmer confidence of the truth. At moment, it gradually let go that which is so enormous, very thick, very sticky. See, before it can be gradually touched and erased, get out little by little, so very little. But if there's no word about it at all in a day, how can there be moment of understanding of that which appears as different ones at a time? Just hear it again and again and again in order not to forget the truth. In life, from life to life, that's why moment of understanding what is parami, conditions for realizing the truth of what is there now, as it's not permanent at all. No one is conditioned. Without its proper condition, it can never arise at all. And as soon as it has a reason by conditions, it's gone instantly. Just the word of truth to be considered, that's all. Not to forget. Anything more about it? And the reality which does not forget is sati, the moment of that which arises, not forget about the truth, not forget about the characteristic, not forget about the nature of that which is now appearing, the reality which experiences the object, and the reality which is experienced. That's all. The world, the life, from word to day to the word, moment to moment. It's not true, but it's covered up by no words about the truth of it to be studied, to be considered carefully, to have confidence of the truth. That's why just listening once is never enough at all. Even second, third, and on and on. Any moment, it's there, gradually, little by little, on and on, until it's become the habits as condition. Pakatu panisya pachya. So natural, the way it is, no other way at all. And that is the beginning of intellectual understanding of the Four Noble Truths, the fourth one, to realize the truth of what is there, to be second truth, to be the first truth, anicca, dukkha, anatta, not far away from what is there just right now. Hearing again and again and again, consider it again and again. It's the only way to have confidence of the truth that it can be realized, because it can be direct understanding with awareness at that level, because we have to study what is meant by awareness. In the day we know, in daily life, to be aware of such and such, attention please, and so on. But they are all different realities, different levels of its nature. Each moment is there unknown until hearing, considering the truth of the meaning of it, that it is right now as it is taught about. Because there is seeing right now. If there's no word about seeing, how can it be realized, the truth, that it's not anyone or anything at all, different realities from moment to moment. That's all. All dhammas are anatta, no matter what. It arises to experience, or it arises but cannot experience anything at all, because it's just hardness, softness, color, sound, smell, taste. That's all in a day, only 6 hours, on and on and on. Who can stop it? Who can make it arise? Impossible, because right now, whatever is there is already conditioned. So it depends on understanding what is there as it has been conditioned to appear very shortly and then gone. Only confidence of the word about what is there, one reality at a time, can condition a little more understanding of the nature of it. It's real, it's not any one, it's conditioned. It rises and goes. Nothing is permanent at all. It's just the word of the succession of what arises and falls away by shape and form appearing and then gone. Object of attachment as it is something. Who knows what is gone now? Each moment. Is it true? The moment of understanding the truth is joyful. The truth, nobody can change it. Nobody can have it as I or mine at all. It's just a conditioned moment. Never enough. Hear it again. Firm confidence. It's the moment of letting go. So gradually, so very slightly, so very subtly. Now, how much is gone? how much it has been developed to let go. No one knows until condition is there, beyond expectation, suddenly, instantly, pop up by conditions. It condition more firm understanding of the truth of anatta, the truth of all kinds of reality. Who knows it now? Let go, little by little, taking what is there as it's still there. Because in truth, it's not there. Just have such understanding or idea is true, is wholesome, never change. Just a moment ago, where's I? And now it seems like I'm here. And tomorrow, see, where is I now? When is tomorrow? Can anyone find the I now? When is tomorrow? So we can talk about anything to understand the different natures of what is there as a self at all. And it's just that only when it appears, no matter what we are talking about, even the sound, the thinking, the feeling, the memory, everything gone. But arise again, new one, by conditions on and on and on and on. Non-stop before it can be the first noble truth, the first Ariya Satya. So true. So it's the word of nimitta, taking what is there as something.
Is that you, Betty?
Yes, please, Kun Eve.
No, John. I thought maybe Betty had something she was going to say. Tony John, Ka.
Yeah, Mom Beth, I thought you were going to say something too.
I have a question if Mom Betty's not going to speak.
Please go ahead, Zita.
I had a phone, somebody called and I so I had to hang up the person who called. And this person doesn't want to hang up. Just keeps calling me back.
Do you have,
Yeah.
Betty, do you have anything to ask? Because I have something.
Oh, all right, Azita, why don't you do that? Sorry for the interruptions. These people calling me at the wrong time. Go ahead, Azita.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Ajahn, I was listening to a recording from a couple of years ago, and the topic came up about adhimokkha and adhikkhana. And so I briefly looked it up, and adhimokkha is the Jetasika. So what is adhitthana?
Firm confidence, never change. so firm.
Okay, but Aditana is not a Jetasika on its own. Is that correct?
When we talk about the truth in life, they are all dhammas, citta and cetasika, but in different manners, in different form, in different aspects. When
Right,
the
okay.
right understanding very firm, so firmer and firmer, is that not adidana?
Well, yes, I suppose it is.
That's why in
Yes,
order
okay.
to understand reality, it's not just in word or by word, but a moment of considering the nature that we have no words to put it. In Pali, one language, and when it's translated, can there be any word for it completely?
Maybe not.
That's why we try to understand not the word, but the nature that we can consider from that word. So clear. For the word adidana,
Right.
no matter in what language, what is it? So we can use one's own word, very, very common, to understand the truth,
Yes,
instead of
yes,
clinging to the word with no meaning at all.
right. Yes, the discussion that I was listening to was quite intensive, but I didn't have time to listen to it all. So, so back to Abhidhamma. Like, do you think it's important to know some of the Abhidhamma? You know, like when we talk about various, like we've just talked about a Jetasika and another manifestation. But if you don't know any of Abhidhamma and you know the different jittas and jetasikas, I think it could be quite confusing. So that
Yeah.
intellectual understanding seems quite important to me.
So we have to understand the truth of what is Dhamma. See,
Yes. Yes. Well,
and
Dhamma is the all realities, is you know, Dhamma is the general term for all realities.
and what is meant by Abhidhamma? Abhidhamma. So very
Well,
deep,
very, very deep,
subtle,
Ajahn. Yes,
very
indeed.
subtle. So no matter what is used in other language, it has to be the understanding of the subtlety of the truth right now at any time. Why can't it be known? Because it's so subtle. For example, there is seeing from birth every day. But what is the truth of it? It's there by conditions. Even right now, we are talking, they're seeing all the time. No one makes it arise at all. That's why, what is it? The nature of it. We just take it for I see instantly. But what is that which is there? If there's no conditions for it to arise, can it arise? Just like now, have it arise. Does it arise at will? Impossible. But it's there already. That's why just consider what can be known. It's so very subtle. It's only that which is there, no matter what. No matter what. If it's not known, can it be known?
No,
That
it can't
what
be
is,
known easily.
that's why someone tries so hard to look for something, to try to do something, to have something arise, but no understanding of what is there right now, which has a reason. even it's not there all the time, but there is another one all the time at that moment. At that moment, if there is no understanding of at what is it, that moment, how can there be any understanding? Thinking about other things. That's why it's so subtle for everyone to consider that in order to understand the truth, it's moment of understanding what is there, not try to look for something to be understood, to realize. And that is wrong or right way or path to understand the truth of what is there now, right now. Because the other moment hasn't arisen yet. So it's not just what is there now, but it has to be studied too. That actually there must be the reality which experiences whatever is there appearing. Otherwise, how can it appear? For example, sound. If there's no hearing, can the sound appear as it's a reality? It's heard. See? If there's no hearing, how can it appear? And who make it arise? By only conditions. And it does not stay long at all. It's gone instantly. It's the truth gone, all gone.
Yes, that's true.
That's why having more confidence is Adidana, not change at all, firmer and firmer, to condition moment of awareness with right understanding of what is there just right now. No one there. It's just condition, pop up. Being aware of that particular object with understanding, beginning to understand the truth. When awareness is there on that object, of that object. Is that the way or not the way to understand what is there right now? It's not just now, but what is there now? As it is, little by little, different ones all the time. All the time, different ones. So it has to be so natural to understand what is there as conditioned moment only and gone. Is it true? Have confidence of the truth. Adidana, Parami, Satya Parami. Until then, Khanti Parami, with Viriya Parami, without hearing again and again and again, is the only way to have a little more understanding of the truth develop firmer and firmer, so very gradually, comparing to what is there years and years and years ago, just one moment, up till now. And this is the only way to let go attachment, desire, wishing, to know the truth of what is there. Impossible, just by wishing, hoping.
So, Zita, I think, Tanita.
Yes, please, go on.
So, Zita, I think what we hear, listening to, so-called Abhidhamma and about chittas and different kind of chetasikas, is not so much to identify what is what, but to understand that what this moment is just a Dhamma. And it doesn't matter which Dhamma, and it's not important to know whether this is Adhimokkha or whatever, whether it's, and if there's Adhidhana, whether it's a Chetasika, but just, our understanding that it's just a Dhamma, and that's the beginning, which we need to come back to again and again. That's why that back to start again, this is so important. We get lost. And we think we listen to Abhidhamma, we've heard a lot of concepts. We need to hear more and learn more about different, chittas and chetasikas. But I think that's going the wrong way.
Right. Yes, probably. But I also think it's well, yeah, I see your point, Sikin. And in fact, it involved you in that conversation back in 2022 about the Adimokkha and Aditana. So I was a bit curious as to what that was. But back again to this present moment. Often in the day when either things are good or bad or whatever, the thought will come to me, this is all there is. This now is now, and it's gone. And I often wonder, am I getting myself into a practice, reminding myself, or does that just happen spontaneously? And I tend to think it happens spontaneously because there's no leading thoughts up to it. Oh, I must be aware. It's just suddenly, well, this is all there is. And it often occurs when I'm not, things aren't going well and I'm getting irritated. And it's a good reminder, well, this is all there is. It's irritation. Just that's all there is at this present moment. So, but I think to have got to that stage, I feel like it's been important to have learnt what I've learnt about Abhidhamma and different jittas and jetasikas. That has helped, I think.
I think that can be tricky, see, we have to realize, we have to understand what we understand. How much, when Achan says that only, what is now can be understood, and it means that our habit is not to now. And if I think you'd understand this, that if there's any understanding of the present moment, it's not about what Chetasika it is, what Rupa it is, it's just that it's a reality. And that's much, much better. I mean, in fact, that's the useful thing, and not which Chetasika it is and what Dhamma it is, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yes, that's yeah. It could be anything. It could be the hardness, could be hearing, could be anything, any reality. So yes, I get that, Sukin. Thank you.
And I think that can be likened to Pariyatti understanding. That's the foundation on which the Patipatti and the Pativeda can be built upon.
Right. I think what Betty is saying, it's what it is. It's how Patipatti can arise. It's because the Pariyatti has to be this way. Pariyatti is about the present moment.
The Pariyatti is one of the conditions for a Patipatti to arise. So that's what I think we're all talking about the same thing. So just to give another angle.
Yeah, I think so, Betty. I think it's often, though, in my case, it's always a me, it always seems to be an I that's going, oh, this is a reality. And I think that's probably fairly normal as well, in a way, so long as there's knowing that it's a self trying to be aware. And then again, I don't think I am trying. It just, the thought just comes, well, this is all there is. And then I'm on to something else. So.
And it's more insidious than that. It's also much of the time when we ask questions to get a clarification, that's also often with the idea of self.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yep.
Well, we've been so, I don't know if we want to call it conditioned, but to think in terms of self. We do it like 99% of the day. So it's a really difficult thing to get over and to, but we are constantly being reminded when we have these discussions or when we read or whatever we're doing, listening to the Dhamma, reading it, discussing it, whatever we're doing that concerns the Dhamma, it's always a reminder. And as Tana John says, to always begin again, and that's what the process is of understanding is beginning again every single time.
Yes, that's a good comment, isn't it?
Until the conditions are there, they're in the correct place, if you want to use that term. They're in place for a moment of understanding to arise, or at another level, at Patipati or Pativeda. Pativeda is very, very rare, so
I'd say a bit more than rare.
more than rare. Rare, extremely rare.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, okay, thank you, baby. Thank you.
Thanks for a good question too. Okay, I had an interruption for a moment that I had to deal with. Anyway, does anybody have any further questions? I notice we have now 17 with us, 17 people with us. So let's see. I think we haven't heard from Chanti for a very long time. Chanti.
Betty, just now I think Achan wanted to say something.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Achan, want to talk about? Okay, go ahead.
Anytime we heard about just even one word of the teachings about the truth, it's time to consider. It's so very subtle, otherwise it can be understood instantly. That's why any word that we hear, that can be a moment to condition it to understand the subtlety of what is there. For example, Atimokkha, see, it does mean that we shouldn't understand it, but it depends on how much there can be the understanding of each different Jetasikas, which are so very, very close not to know that exactly what it is or directly, because it's so very subtle. For example, what is Atimokkha? It's not just the word, but it represents a Cetasika, a reality which arises with Citta. So only one moment of Citta, so many Cetasikas arise by condition. So there can be the understanding of what type of Cetasika is Atimokkha. It's not the 7 Cetasikas which just arises with each Citta, and only 7 arises with the vipaka, like seeing so on. But what is Atimokkha? Does it arise with seeing right now? If there is no understanding that whether it's there or not, it means that there is no understanding of what Atimokkha is. That's why when we learn about anything, it conditions a little more understanding of the subtlety of each reality, not try to realize it because it's so subtle. And if one tries, it's not the understanding of another's at all. That's why no matter what, don't forget, never forget, it's not anyone or anything, but it has its own characteristic. And whatever is conditioned arises and falls away in split seconds. But we learn to understand the subtlety. At that moment of understanding, it let go the idea of someone or something or self at that very moment, little by little. It doesn't mean that as soon as we have heard, we try to understand it and try to understand what is there right now, whether it is Atimokkha or Manasikara or Vipaka or Vichara and so on, but to understand the truth that what is there, even it appears, it's not known, it's not being considered at all yet. That's why it's moment of seeing and understanding reality as Abhidhamma. That's why the meaning of it is even is there. It's so subtle. So what is Atimokkha? we learn little by little. It's there, it's real, it's ajitasika. It arises with almost every citta. See, does it arise with kusala? Does it arise with kusala? Whatever, and so on. There can be a little more understanding of Adhimokkha, but no wish to experience it because all are conditioned, all are Dhamma, all are anatta, depending on what is there every time when it's there arising. So now, would you like to understand what Adhimokkha is? As it is in the book, to consider a little more?
When I listened to the recording, I got out my books, and yes, as you mentioned, Adhimokkha arises with most jittas except the 10 sense kusala, agusala, vipaka, sense, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and one other which I can't remember. But it arises with every other jitta, including, oh, excuse me, I have very noisy birds. Come sunset, and the noisy birds start. Sorry. Yes, so Adhimokkha is, it arises with almost every jitta. And a lot of the jeta seekers are similar. Like it says determination or resolution. And then there's other jeta seekers that they're similar, but they are different. They seem, when I read, it seems similar, but really they are separate jeta seekers.
Does it arise with akusala?
Yes,
Moment?
yes, it does. Agusala, Gusala, Vipak, and Akiriya.
Does it arise with santirana?
Yes, Achan.
Does it arise with sampatitana?
Yes, Achan.
It does matter, but it means that who knows that it's there arising, performing its function. Otherwise, there cannot be moments of what is there together. That's why, what is it? Does it resolute? Or what is there as resolution, determination? When you heard the word determination, what do you think?
Well, I of course I immediately went to the conventional determination, meaning I'm determined to do something, but that's not it at all. That's not the reality of determination. It's just it's strongly, I suppose the conventional expression does explain it somewhat, but I remember there's the sense door jittas and moha mula jitta. It doesn't arise with that because well, moha is just a fog in a fog, and there's no resolution to be ignorant. So
there are two kinds of moha. What kind? There's no adhimokkha arising with it.
moha mula jitta.
Vicikicca.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes. With doubt.
So
yes.
What is the function of adhimokkha? See,
Right.
it cannot arise together with vicikicca. But it can arise with other citta without vicikicca. Not everyone, but some of them that we know. There must be adhimokkha. Otherwise, does it determine any moment to arise, or it doesn't have that function at all?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it has that function?
That's why when it's used as a word resolution or determination, it's not a function of the nature of Atimokkha, right? But one can try to understand what is meant closer when it's there set on the object, set the mind and our other cetasika together, but it doesn't know that there are other cetasika or citta, but it arises to set on the object.
Yes, that's always amazed me as well, that these jetasikas arise along with each other, but they have their function, and they just have their function, and they don't know
Because
what else is around.
yeah, because there is at least 7 cetasika arising together with citta. At moment of seeing, no need for other cetasika to arise because karma condition that moment.
Right.
Seeing and the cetasika, only 7 is enough to condition just a moment, one moment of seeing, while the object is experienced by the other citta as well. The citta before seeing experience that object without, but it doesn't see. So no need for Atimokkha to arise at all at moment of seeing. See, so we learn little by little why Vicikiccha doesn't have Atimokkha with it, because at that moment it cannot set the mind on the object as usual because of Vicikiccha and so on. And even these words can help just very little to understand the nature of it, because they arise with other cetasikas, and the other cetasikas are there performing its function without knowing the other at all, just arise together and performing the function of its own. That's all. Are there unknown at all. So even they are there. It depends on what is conditioned to be object of awareness and understanding. The way anatta can be firmer and firmer and firmer. No one there at all. Anatta, no atta. They are different realities at a time by conditions. As much as there can be a little more understanding closer to that reality. But when it's there, experienced directly, no word at all, because it appears as it is. It depends on whether it's there appearing as the object of realization or not.
But it also arises with a gusala citta, so
Set the mind
resolution
on that object.
to do bad.
For lopa to attach, those
Yes,
to get angry,
yes,
nivarana, say on and on. So
yes.
one learn to understand what moment doesn't have Atimokkha arising. So the other moment, there must be Atimokkha. That's all. No need to remember all cittas with Atimokkha and so on. Just to understand how deep and how subtle, even it's there, it's not known, but it can be known little by little. So to experience or realize the truth, it has to be so natural reality in daily life only. As long as it's not this very moment, it's not understanding of the truth. Little by little, from the intellectual understanding, condition the moment of direct awareness, and realize the truth unexpectedly, anatta, clearer and clearer, until it let go all kinds of atta.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Achan. That's help a lot in terms of understanding more. Well, in terms of understanding the nothingness of everything, because there's nothing I can do to make anything arise. It's there already, as you say, and gone before can do anything about it. Arise and gone, arise and gone. Very good reminders, Ajahn. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I appreciate your understanding.
And I appreciate your help, Ajahn. Thank you.
Anyone else have any topics they wish to bring up? Let me look at this. Who's with us? I know who never talks in these discussions, but who talks very beautifully when he does. Nopadon, do you have something that you might want to bring up and talk to the group about? Nopadon, are you there? It says you are.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any? Because I heard you last week or a week ago or more when you spoke to the Nepalese students, and you spoke so beautifully. And you know, you had such wisdom there. Do you have any questions or ideas that you would like to share with the group?
Yes. There is the Supanachetasika may be interested in like a Tatra Machashata Chetasika. Mameti know about that?
No, I think, why don't you explain it? Because I'm not sure that a lot of our listeners understand that.
Maybe interesting because I just read this because Ajahn just go to the Nepalese student. It's interesting in Chetasika. Okay.
I think when we experience a glimmer, a slight glimmer of understanding, it becomes very interesting. There's more, as Tana John says, there's more confidence, there's more virya or interest to study and so forth when there's a recognition of a topic that or we have to use pronouns because there's no way of getting around it when we speak, but with the understanding that there's no beings to which these pronouns refer. But when there's that glimmer of understanding, there's also a moment of virya, a moment of confidence. There's a moment of, there's also all these other wonderful things arising that improve what is called life. Okay. Nopadon, I wish you would speak, because the other day when I heard you speak, you spoke so beautifully, and I wish you would speak to the group. Make the effort to speak to the group, because you really do speak beautifully and you have a lot of understanding. Okay. Sundara, hello.
Right. Mom Betty, yeah, hello to you. Look, I do have a question. I was thinking of Azita's point about Adityanam.
Yeah.
And in the particular sutta here, I was looking it up just to go over it again, because I think it's always begin again, starting at the beginning. And it mentions in the Sangiti Sutta that there are 4 types of Adityanam: Panyadityanam, Satchadityanam, Chaga Adityanam, and Upasama Adityanam. So
what does that translate to be?
Oh yeah, okay. So Panyadityanam, well, that obviously relates to Panya being firm in the knowledge of Dhamma at whatever level that Panya can arise or is able to arise. Satchadittanam, I guess I had the question really resolving around, but I could perhaps go over them just briefly before I do. Satchadittanam means, confidence in the truth. That would certainly be one aspect of it, I imagine. And the question I was going to ask was related to Chagadittanam, because that relates to...
What is that third one then? What is the third one?
Oh, Chagadittanam.
Yeah,
Chaga is sometimes translated as liberality and generosity. But I was just wondering, Tanajan, and the last one, not of course, is Upasama, which relates to, focus or concentration. Sometimes translated as samadhi, but here it's translated as the Pali word is Upasama, Upasamadhitanam. But Tanajan, I'm wondering about Chagadittanam. How does that fit into the concept of aditana?
Generosity, you mean? Okay.
Yeah. Well, How does chaga relate to adittanam? That concept of chagadittanam.
Okay.
What does it mean? The word in Pali, literally.
Well, chaga really is translated, as far as I remember, as liberality, generosity, and then in relationship to chagadittanam, it seems to relate to, well, I'm not too sure. It translated, it would be something like being firm in liberality and generosity. But I'm wondering how that relates to the Dhamma in the broader sense.
Can we use the word dana too?
I certainly, Dhammajan. Usually it's not. That's one. I suppose it's just. It seems to me a higher aspect of dana, but maybe that's
because it's barami too. Dana is barami too, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So when we relate to chagadittanam, we're talking about the firmness or confidence of dana. Can we say that, Tamajan? I'm not quite sure.
Sundara, excuse me. Ajahn Kampan just say it's Jaka Titan. Jaka.
Hello.
ใช่ครับจาคาติฐานครับ
แม้ฟังแล้วไม่ออกเลยว่าเป็นจาคะคุณขอบคุณมากค่ะขอบคุณมากค่ะ because the meaning is to let go, right?
I'll let go. Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
The three kinds of dana parami, giving away things for the other's benefit. Be able to let go attachment to that object, attached to it's mine, it's me. See?
Yes.
Give something away without understanding. We know nothing about it. But when there is the understanding of the nature of that moment, it's a moment of being able to give away things. So it means a give away. One as I give away.
So,
more than that. It's not just giving away object, but it's also giving away the idea of self.
yes.
Of me or mine. And that is dana. And more than that, forgiveness, abhaya dana.
All right, of course. Yes.
One to oneself and the others get angry all the time. It's not moment of understanding the truth. Any kind of akusla cannot condition any moment of understanding the truth at all. Because of ignorance, avijja, it conditions that moment. That's why it's not just giving away things, dana and tayadama, but it is also abhayadana. And the best of all gift is dhammadana.
Yes.
The understanding to anyone, not by choice.
Cup.
Yeah. And with favor at all.
So,
Oh.
John, so Abhaya Dhamma is like a sense of protection to others, that there's no harm is going to come from you, or I mean, from the person who feels Abhaya Dhamma.
And what about when it's with understanding that actually that's not me or that person at all?
Yeah.
A little more firmer.
Yeah.
A little more understanding of the truth, little by little. Letting go of the idea of he or she or I. No one.
Yeah, thank you for that, Kunwarasak. Thank you for your translation there. To help.
So to clarify, Sundara, Chan, what you're saying is that Chaka Adhitana is different from Dana in the normal sense, as in giving away things, and Abhaya.
I lost you there.
I think.
Sorry. No, what I'm saying is that, Chan, do you mean that Chaga Adhidana is different from normal Dana, as in giving away things?
Again.
You've gone again, so Kunsukin. Sorry.
If I may, I would think giving away is an actual is an action, whereas perhaps the other is a thought, is a feeling, is an intention, is an idea that arises in the mind that stays that. So I think so that may be a difference between them.
Yes, certainly.
Dana is the actual giving of something away, okay? Whereas this is the rising of the mind to find more opportunities to perform dana, to feel that we should do more in the way of doing dana.
I think what Tanajan also touched on from Betty was the idea of giving away the idea of a self.
That's right. And the idea of, yes, absolutely. Giving away the idea of self. That's a good
and well, that was what Tanajan just said a moment ago. And of course, embodied in that too, when there is that aspect of, the Abhaya Dana, which is the giving away of, you give to the other that, you are harmful, you are harmless to that person.
Not a threat to other people. No.
That's exactly right, because Bhaya, as you know, means fear or danger. So Abhaya means, fearless, as you said, or not fear, and that you're able to, because there is understood, and Tanajan was talking about there, the aspect of panya or understanding being in there. There is the idea that that person has no need to feel danger, because you danger about your behavior or something like that, because there has been a gradual giving away of the idea of a person.
That's right.
That's a little bit clearer, Tanajan. And we can see the other one there is Satchadithanam, and so that relates, shall we say, to the Chaitasika, not to Chaitasika, to the parami of Satcha, such a parami, Satchadithanam. So we can say that's the parami of Satcha. Would that be correct, Tanajan?
Satcha is the truth.
Yes, true.
Truthful to the truth. It's the only way to understand the truth. For example, seeing, being true to the truth. Seeing is seeing for sure.
Yes, true. And we can say at those moments that the more there is understanding grows, the more understanding is developed, the more Panyadithanam there will be, the more Satchadithanam, the more Chagadithanam, and Upasamadithanam. They're all in many ways bound together when there is this commitment to truth and the idea and the letting go of self, which happens gradually.
So the core of all kinds of parami must be right understanding of panya only.
True. Yeah, must be. Panya is at the heart of the Dhamma in so many ways. Kunsukin, are you there still? Is he gone?
Yes, I'm here, Sundara.
Oh, good. Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah.
Can you remember the point that you were going to make before? I appreciated what you're saying. Can you speak further to it?
I was thinking that from what Achan said, it seems like the three dhanas that we know about, Amit Dana and Abhaya Dana and this Dhamma Dana and all that is one. But this Chaga Dana Chaga Adhidhana must be with Panya.
Yes.
So that's the only Dhamma that can let go of self.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just other kinds of dana does not have nothing to do about giving up the idea of self. It's only Panya that can, condition letting go of self.
Yes, certainly. True. And the more that is developed, the more there will be that giving away of the idea of a self, which is so strong. By moment to moments, it is very strong. That there is a person, and the letting go, as you said, has to be with Panya.
I was thinking what Ajahn was saying at the beginning, the need to listen to the word, to listen to the truth.
Can you say again, please, Alberto? It's not easy to follow.
Alberto, your voice is not clear, coming over clearly.
All right. I try again.
Perhaps you might increase your sound a little bit.
Maybe can you hear me better now without I'm talking straight into the microphone?
Can you increase the sound on your
all right. Yeah. Any better now? I'm very close.
Yeah, that's much better.
Microphone.
That's much better.
Okay. Ajahn, at the beginning was talking about the need to listen to the truth and to the words explaining the truth, so that we can consider it, and listening also to the details about like Adhimokkha and Adhitthana. It's the only way for the getting closer to the reality of which is arising now. So it's like the only way to being led towards the truth by talking, of course, by talking about the truth, and which can only be in the present moment. And that's why it's helpful, I think, even talking about Adhitthana and Adhimokkha and Chaga and all the all the details of the reality which we are living now, which we are experiencing, which we are just conditioned to arise, so that it can be understood better and better, and even a little bit, because it has to be very gradual. It has to be very imperceptible, not like the simile of the knife handle, but it's the words are so precious in that sense, because that's the only condition we need, which is not our own. Because even if we have the accumulation for understanding, the Panya and so on and so forth, even Sariputta needed the voice of Asaji to understand, to understand the truth. Otherwise, he wouldn't have understood it, even if he was Sariputta, even before his enlightenment. And so we have to, as Ajahn keeps on repeating, we have to keep on listening and consider the words of the truth, so that we can eventually understand the truth as it is, as the Buddha taught.
Yeah, Albert. Yeah. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I was waiting for your input.
Yeah, no, that's, to consider carefully always, Alberto, and as you mentioned, you talked about that simile of the knife handle, which indicates, of course, that progress is slow. It doesn't happen overnight, and after time, it becomes a little bit more apparent that there has been growth or an understanding. But as we know, that does take time, and it's imperceptibly slow. So patience will always be the key. Panti Parami will always be a part of that, which is in conjunction with Panya. They need to work together. Otherwise, otherwise there will not be growth and understanding. Careful consideration. Tanajan, you mentioned a moment ago that you were talking about dukkha, the dukkha of this present moment, which always seems to me to be bound up with the idea of a person. And we forget, or I certainly forget, that in the moment, on this particular moment, because it is dukkha, we do not see that. There is not the understanding. I know we can say that panya, when there is panya that appreciates or that understands the present moment, what seems still very difficult is that there is no body. I do not, I can grasp it intellectually that no, there is no body. But you asked earlier on about the person yesterday. Where is that person of yesterday that you thought you were? But today, there still seems to be a person there. I know that is an idea that's not true, but it's still strongly there, the idea of a person that is there today.
But Sundara, if you consider, you realize, you understand that the person who was asking a different question just a moment ago, can you bring it back? Can you have any sense of it?
No. It's a good. That's a good. I like that angle, Kunsakin. No, of course I can't. It's gone. I can't bring that person back who asked that question a moment ago. That's very helpful. It's gone. No, gone forever. Thank you.
Yes, also, and how much more so the being that I thought I was, or have this delusion of, uncountable eons of moments ago yesterday. So, yeah, I like that. Thank you. Excuse me.
Now, we appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, that was a wonderful discussion about this. And the thing about dukkha, the present moment, also it relates to the other two characteristics of realities. Things are dukkha because there's no self, and also because of sorry. I'm losing memory sometimes.
Impermanence.
Yeah, impermanence.
Yes.
Exactly. Old age setting in. I'm going to be 80. Anyway, so there, the three characteristics of realities are all intertwined, and each one is basically a kind of cause for the other two. So they all, I guess, I don't want to say they enhance each other, but they all become a cause for the other two realities. For instance, dukkha, because things are impermanent, because realities are impermanent. They're not there. They don't stay. They're so ephemeral. Okay. It's dukkha because it's not a self. There's no being here. That's a very hard thing for people to grasp. What do you mean there's no being? I got arms, I got legs, I can talk, I can do all kinds, it's always I. And to grasp that the anatta, as John always tells us, it's the hardest thing to grasp. But they all those three realities are just totally intertwined. I remember when I realized that, but I don't know how many years ago, but and it was like a real big revelation in a sense. And yes, it's true. They're all intertwined.
Absolutely. Lucas.
And Sundara, this
Yeah.
question you this remark you made earlier, that whenever you hear the word dukkha, it is hard not to associate with somebody, with self. I mean, it's like automatic that you think it in terms of somebody suffering. I think what you may be pointing at is not so much that it's with the idea of self, but it's something I've been considering a while ago, and I thought to ask and wondered. When we hear about what Betty was just talking about, that everything is dukkha, chitta, cetasika, rupa, all conditioned dhammas of dukkha have the characteristic of dukkha. The three lakkhana are interrelated and all that. I was thinking that why dukkha? If there were no chitta and cetasikas to know anything, and there were only rupas, then the word dukkha would not apply. It applies exactly because of there being experience of those rupas and namas, that the word dukkha becomes meaningful.
True. You become very, very low. I can hardly hear you, Kunsakin.
Yeah, it refers both to nama and rupa.
Now, what I'm saying is that talking about dukkha without the concept of experiencing a characteristic, just saying that rupas are dukkha, even if there's no chitta and chittas, rupas rise and fall away, hence dukkha, is meaningless. I think it is meaningful only in relation to there being chittas experiencing them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But that takes a certain level of understanding to realize the I guess one is use the dukkha-ness, the dukkha-ness of the rising and the impermanence of things. Because with a sense of I, we expect something to be impermanent. We expect it because of ignorance. We expect and ignorance also. We expect things to remain the same. We look at these things in terms of panyatis. We expect that my computer will be working tomorrow morning. We expect that you will get up in the morning tomorrow morning. All that pariyati thinking, all right? So, but at the same time, it's because why have attachment to a reality which exists in like a nanosecond? It comes up and goes away in a nanosecond, or however long that lasts. It's so quick that we can't even grasp it unless there's a certain level of understanding. And so that's the real understanding behind the idea that, oh, this thing is going to break, that thing's going to get stolen, my house is going to burn down, or whatever, you know. But that's the reality behind the pariyati. What do you call it? Pariyati thinking. Panyatis, not pariyati. Panyati thinking. There's this experiencing of dukkha only in terms of panyatis, losing these things, losing the phone, or the phone falls down and breaks, or whatever, all these different things. We're thinking in terms of panyatis, of concepts. But the reality behind the concept is the fact that it is so impermanent. And it is not a self. There's no being there. There's and when that is further or deeper understood, then it's easier to grasp the idea of how unimportant the things we think are important are in everyday life.
Mm-hmm. No, that's.
I think it would be good if, like, we don't have much time left, so if Ajahn could come in
yes,
and
please.
say a few words, because I think this thing about it's only dukkha because it's dukkha anyway, whether there's chitta and cetasika or not. It's just, that's the reality of everything. By saying it's only because such and such, puts an I in there. But I'd like to hear Achahn's comment on dukkha, please.
Yes, please.
Ajahn, could you say something about the reality of dukkha?
Yes. What about that which arises and falls away forever?
Sorry?
That's dukkha. But it's dukkha anyway. It's not because there's chittas and jetasikas and that there is, the clinging to permanency. It's dukkha regardless of any of that. Yes, Ajahn?
Non-stop dukkha.
Isn't dukkha a jealousy?
Non-stop dukkha. So it's the only moment letting go, clinging to that.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Otherwise, there must be clinging when it does not appear as it is. It's still there. See, right now, it seems it's still there. How can it be dukkha? But when it broke, when it breaks up, each moment, very, very quickly all the time. Anyone like it? Is there still attachment to that which cannot be anything or anyone at all? All gone. And is that true right now, all gone?
Yes,
But it's
Ajahn.
not really, no. That's why
Yes.
to learn to understand the truth, the absolute truth, ultimate truth, until it appears to Panya only, which can realize that moment, because understanding the characteristic of each one as different ones, conditioned to arise and fall away, non-stop, no one. It is dukkha in itself.
Yes. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Ajahn. That's correct. All dukkha.
That's why it has to be realized, because it's so true, ultimate truth.
But Achan, why the word dukkha is used to describe this? There's a reason.
What do you like? What is sukha?
See, that's what I mean. It is in relation to the fact that there is chittas and chetasikas, and um, no, it is describing one aspect of reality by way of another reality.
Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Three characteristics.
Yeah, yes, what you're saying is absolutely right. And Asita, I think what my father was meaning is that we know that all dhamma that arise and falls away are dukkha, because what's the nature of for from nothing to something, then nothing, that's unsatisfactoriness of every dhamma. But if there is no chitta or chetasika or the experience reality, there wouldn't be an idea or thinking of there is dukkha. I mean, if there's like let's say in this world there's no any living beings, only just like there's mountain, tree, lands and all that, even though there is a rupa, but no nama that but rupa itself doesn't know that it is a dukkha reality.
Anyone
Yes,
concerned rupa?
sorry, Ajahn, go ahead.
Is anyone concerned about the rupa? That it does not experience anything at all?
No.
See?
No, I'm not concerned at all.
Understanding the ultimate truth, that what is there is not there anymore, and no one there at all. It's just conditioned reality, just arise and falls away, not stop. Let go, clinging to that as something. See, it's moment of realizing the truth, no one there at all, and that is the first stage of enlightenment. Just moment of experiencing the arising and falling away is not enough yet. There must be higher insight, vipassana, before there can be the eradication of the idea of self.
Ajahn, thank you so much. It's been wonderful, very, very helpful. Thank you. I think it's
Yes, thank you.
it's time.
Yes, I agree. I echo your words. And thank you, everybody, for joining us
Yeah,
today.
thank you, everybody.
I hope Sarah
Thank
and
you,
John.
everyone. So they got content.
Thank you so much, John.
ครับอาจารย์
Thank you, Betty, for moderating.
กราบเท้าท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะอาจารย์
ค่ะ